Welcome to the Growing People podcast. I'm your host, John Losey. And what we do with this podcast is take a 360-degree look at how people in groups grow and develop. And today, I'm glad to say that I've got Dr. Chris Cavert with me, and we're going to talk a little bit about team building and creative process. And for those of you who are outside the experiential learning world, because those inside are probably aware of Chris, he is an amazing facilitator. He has created a great resources for experiential educators through his books and his website. He's also just a really good guy who I've known for a little while, and I'm proud to call him my friend. So welcome to the podcast, Chris.
Thanks, everybody. It's great to be here. We've been, John and I have been wanting to talk for a while and working out all the technology things. So it's glad to be up and running.
What would you tell yourself now that all that you know and all your experience, what one word of advice would you have given yourself 25 years ago?
25. Well, aside from, I have to put this out there because you have to say this. I don't think it'll count though. You're not going to go into education for the money. At that time, 25 years ago, I was very focused on being able to make a lot of money anywhere I wanted to be. Now I've come full circle, and there's some interesting things that can change. But that's kind of a, you got to be careful. You do it because you're passionate about teaching and passionate about other people learning and sharing, teaching everything you know, sort of a thing. I think, wow, 25 years ago, I know I was going to be an educator. I was on that fence of educator, physical therapist, make a lot of money sort of person. But it just, I fell to the educator side of the fence, or jumped over to that side of the fence. And I think just trust, for me, telling myself to trust your gut, to trust that, if something comes into your head, yeah, you may need to filter it, be sensitive. But I think trust your mind, trust the way you feel about something when you're working with someone, and, be open and honest and let them know, you're a person too, and trust that what you're doing is being helpful. Because most educators, most people, my mother was an educator, and one of the stories she told me when I was younger was, and I would ask her, why do you do this? You come home, you're so tired. You take a whole summer to recover. She would say, there, every once in a while, you get that one kid that comes back and says, thank you so much for what you did. You've been my favorite teacher. There's that. And it's interesting because she said it's like when you need it, for whatever reason, it comes around and when you need it. And I think that would be my advice, is like, do good things and know you're planting seeds. You're not going to see the trees grow, but if you feel good about what you're doing, you feel good about what you're sharing, know that you're making a difference. So I think, there have been times over the last 25 years that I wonder if what I'm doing is really worth it. And is anybody getting anything? Been blogging for 2 years, and I've maybe heard from a dozen people saying thank you. And that at times it's like, well, is anybody getting anything? Is anybody learning anything? I don't know. I don't see them enough. Is anybody getting anything out of my books? Every once in a while, oh, your book is the one that's got the most dog ears and the sticky notes, and so that's a cool feeling. So yeah, just trust that every little bit that you do is going to be worth, your efforts.
Yeah.